Hey traders, welcome to another Forex bootcamp training. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, so I want to go ahead and do it today and upload it on my channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Subscribe, hit the bell button, and also share the video with your colleagues and friends and associates that also are learning or wanting to learn how to trade the Forex market. So you'll find a lot of content on my channel regarding strategies, techniques that you can use and implement in your trading plan. Today, we're going to pretty much talk about fundamental analysis and what is it. We haven't touched that on my channel or even spoke about it, so I want to go ahead and talk about fundamental analysis because typically we talk about technical analysis a lot and not understanding what fundamental analysis has to do with the over gamut of the whole situation. Because if you've ever been stopped out by a long candle, we normally call those candles like a kangaroo tail. It's because something happened in the fundamental analysis aspect of things that stopped you out. Okay. Or you were in a buy trade and it skyrocketed or went straight up to a point where, it hit your take profit, but it went way past your take profit. You're saying to yourself, man, I wish I would have stayed in the trade because I would have tripled or doubled my profit that I would have made in this trade. Well, when stuff like that happens, it's because we don't look at fundamental analysis to gauge whether or not you know there's going to be a boost or an uptick on a particular trend, right? So let's dive in and talk about fundamental analysis. Now, I went on Google and asked Google to define what fundamental analysis is in Forex, and this is what Google says. Okay, fundamental analysis in Forex is a method of evaluating the value of an asset by analyzing economic and political factors that may affect currency prices. It's one of the two main methods of market analysis, the other being technical analysis, right? And that's what I've been teaching on my channel is how to do technical analysis on a given chart. But let's dive in to fundamental analysis. And I'm going to probably will give you a strategy that you could use when trading fundamental analysis. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Watch the video to the end and take notes as well. Okay, so let's dive into the calendar that showcases what is going on in the currency pair. Okay, what's going on in a certain country or in the currency, and depending on what you trade, you need to go to Forex Factory to understand what that pair or what that currency or what that country is doing. Because what fundamental analysis does, it takes the overall picture of the country's economy and they put that information in envelopes. As you can see, these are what we call envelopes. Okay. And they make predictions, and this is news that's coming out in a particular day. So that way you could take a look to see what's going on, before you take a trade. You could make sure that you're not, in conflict of any negative news or even positive news. If it's positive news, you want to anticipate, um, the actual pair or the actual currency to go up. If it's negative news, okay, because red means negative news, you don't want to really trade. Whenever you see red folders, you want to try to avoid trading that currency within that time frame and that date. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a look at the dates, right? Because this is really important to understand. So this is dates for future announcements of what's going on starting Sunday all the way through, next week, you know, Friday. So whenever you come to Forex Factory, then you'll be able to find the link of Forex Factory on my website. If you go to Traders, metrofxtraders.com, you'll notice that I have a link that goes directly to Forex Factory. Okay, so let's go back to the calendar. It is the calendar of events of announcements that's going on in that particular pair. over that particular currency in that particular country. Okay, so let's go and take a look at last week's announcements. Okay, so we're going to go down to Friday and see. Okay, this is one red folder in Friday. This is called retail sales. Okay, with GBP, right? That news came out 2 a.m. in the morning, right? And they give you the stats, right? Um, if you look at what those are, the actual number, the forecast, and the previous, and there's a graph. Okay, now you can go down here, you can click on this information here, and it gives you, you know, an overview on what it measures and so on and so forth. So that's really important to take a look at. Okay, now let's close this out here. Okay. To close that out, I had to refresh the page. Okay, no, it's still there. And it gives you some historical data as well. So this is the stuff you would definitely read to understand what's going on with that currency. Okay, I want to click out of it, but let's see. Okay, so it goes in depth in there. Let's refresh the whole thing. Go back to last week. Okay. All right, so here we go. So let's look at GBP red folder. Like I said, avoid red folders. Okay, try not to have a trade before or after 2 a.m. All right, so but if you want to take advantage of this red folder, let me show you a quick technique, right, or a strategy that you could use if trading red folders. Okay, now be very, very careful when you trade red folders because like I said, red folders are negative news and it could actually blow your account if it goes in the wrong direction. Okay, so all depends on your technical analysis, which is important, but also this is fundamental analysis. So let's go into the chart and let's take a look to see what's going on with that news during that day and time. So we'll go back to my website and click on Trading View. Okay, and we click on products, click on chart, and we're going to go to GBP USD. It's one of my favorite pairs. So I already got it saved here on the right panel. Close it out. So it's GBP USD. Now we're going to go back to Forex Factory. We're going to take a look at the date, Friday, August the 16th, 2 a.m. in the morning. Let's see what happened at that particular time. So we go down here where it says go to. I'll go to the calendar. We're going to go to Friday. Today's Sunday, so that's the 16th. And we're going to go to 2 a.m. So August the 16th at 2 a.m. Okay. And go to that date. Okay. So here, excuse me. So here's that candle in the 1 hour time frame. As you can see, okay, it's a candle that pretty much, let me go back to the date. Okay, looks like a candle that pretty much shot up, right, because of the news, right, and then shot back down because this is a black candle, so pretty much was a down candle, okay, because it opened up here, tried to shoot up, and then closed down here, okay. So we need to analyze this and say, hey, how can we take advantage of this particular candle? Because apparently, if we look at the Forex Factory again, and we look at this red folder, we notice that it was a negative 0.5%. which right there tells you that the market was trending lower on that particular news alert. Pull the candle lower, right, and turn it to a black candle. Okay, depending what color you make your candle. For me, black candles mean, it's going lower, right? It's a sell candle, so on and so forth. So yeah, so if you look at the numbers, it came in negative. It projected to go up, right? But it didn't. So the report came back, and based on that information, you go back to the can on the chart and you take a look at that particular time, which was August 16th, 2024, 2 a.m. in the morning. So if you're in the market, because GBP USD, it opens around this time, okay? So you really want to just wait for the news to come out before you actually get into the market after the news, right? But here's a technique for you that the minute that the news came out and they said it was negative, you could have actually taken a sell trade when it hit the top of the candle and rode it all the way down before the close and got out really quick. Okay, this is an hourly candle. So if we were to box that up, right, put a box around it, and do that right now, because within the hourly candle, there's multiple candles within an hourly candle. If we go down to a lower time frame, so let's do that. Okay. Okay, so I really just want to box up this candle right here, right? Okay, so now we're going to go down to the lower time frames because was an hourly time frame. This is the time that the news came out. So we're at the 1 hour. Let's drop down to the 30-minute and see what's going on. Okay. So if this is a time frame, right, 2 o'clock, I normally put a gauge there to remind me that, okay, this candle is 2 o'clock. Okay. But we're in the 30-minute time frame, right? Now we're going to drop down to see, okay, what happened right there is a bullish candle, right? Because it's bigger than the candle before it. So it did jump up, right? And then the next candle, it jumped down. So that's what you got to pay attention to. So let's take a look at the 15-minute. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, so there you go. The 15-minute, okay, because you got your 2 o'clock here, right? Then what do you see right after 2 o'clock? You have a doji candle, indecisiveness. That's what this means. And doji candle, after you see a bullish candle, a doji candle appears, which signifies a reversal. That's exactly what happened here. Okay, so at 2:30, the candle started to trend lower. Okay. Now let's go down to the 5-minute. Let's see what we can see. 5-minute. Because you normally want to take your trades either on the 15-minute or the 5-minute. Okay. Now we have the 2 o'clock candle right here. Okay. And then we're analyzing all of this data right here. This data is telling us that if you look at what's going on, right, you'll notice that this candle right here at 2:30, right, that's 2:30, that's a gravestone candle. So we saw a doji, and now we see a gravestone candle, right? Because it looks like a gravestone. So this is telling us it's going to push lower. So in order to take advantage of this particular trade for a quick profit, right, you'd wait for the next candle to develop, put a quick sell order in and write it down and get out right here at 255 before this happened. Okay, so if we take a short position and say we got into the market right there and we exit at this particular level here, we put our stop loss above the gravestone, you're pretty much looking at a 1 to 1.61% a ratio, sorry, a 1 to 1.61 ratio, and you would have been in profit had you jumped in the market into the market right there. Okay. So that's a quick strategy for you guys to practice, backtest, and use whenever you're trading the news. Okay. So if it was positive news, it would have shot up, but it was negative news. So negative news, you anticipate the market to react in a fashion that says, hey, if it's negative, I want to get out. I want to just exit, sell everything I have. Okay. So the great thing about Forex that you can make money when people are selling. Okay. So you would jump in here and start selling it as well. And then when the buyers jump back in, you're already out. Okay. You're already out because the white candle is pretty much a bullish engulfing candle because it's bigger than the candle before it. And that's when the buyers are pushing it back up and say, we want to just get back into the market and push it back up. But as you can see, the market, right? There's another doji right there that says, hey, the sellers are taking control. We want to push it lower and go down a little bit more. So that way we can get out of the market and then anticipate an uptrend, if anything. So that's a quick strategy for you to use when trading fundamental analysis. So you take a look at the calendar. So let's take a look at next week. Okay. Next week, the 18th to the 24th, you take a look at any one of the red candles. So at 8:30 on Tuesday, August the 20th, there's going to be some news that come out on CAD, which is the Canadian dollar. They're going to come out with their CPI numbers. Okay. So these are the forecasts. Okay. And then the actual number would come out at that particular time. Okay. So you already see a red folder. So you're anticipating some really important news coming out on their CPI, really important news coming out on their median CPI, and then you'll see some more information on that. So Canadian dollar at 8:30 a.m., you'll either avoid it or you try to jump into it before, okay, or right after the news, right? Because whenever the market pushes down or even up, those are usually retracements, right? So you want to anticipate the retracement and try to take advantage of the retracement. And then once it starts to, you know, reverse, you want to then take a trade going in the opposite direction. So that's another way to just take advantage of some quick, trades, see if you can profit from it. Always set a stop loss because this activity happens really fast. It could shoot the market up, it could shoot the market down. So that's how you take a look at fundamentals analysis. So you come in here and read and understand what's going on with your favorite country, currency, and just anticipate this news. Because if you're in a trade, let's say you're a swing trader, and you're in a trade, the trade may, you know, you know, accelerate to a higher level based on the news, or decelerate based on the news as well. So you have to be mindful of fundamental analysis whenever you're placing a trade. So it's always a good idea to come on here, okay, before you place a trade and while you're in a trade. Because if you're in a trade for an hour or two or three or four, you want to see what's going on within that time frame. I mean, if you saw, let's say, okay, back to Canadian dollar. If you saw 8:30 and you're in a trade with Canadian dollar 8:30, you might want to get out of that trade at 8:29. Okay. All right. Because you don't know what the numbers are going to be. until 8:30. All right. And then jump into the trade exactly at 8:31. Okay. Try to ride that news, whether it's positive or negative, for a quick profit and try to get out as quickly as you can. Okay. Or just wait for the news to, for people to react to the news, and which would cause a retracement, whether it's going up or down, and then jump into the market right after, you know, the news comes out. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Another way of looking at the market is understanding and implementing fundamental analysis alongside with your technical analysis, and pair them up, and try to put together a strategy that'll help you take control of the trade. Okay. So with that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching. Again, subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. You get notifications of future videos like this. And also give it a thumbs up. That way, other people could see this through Google's algorithm. It'll push this video out to others and say, hey, you might want to watch this video about fundamental analysis done by your favorite trader, Wilms, who's actually the facilitator, trainer, and motivator of Forex, MetroFXTraders.com. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate you subscribing. To all my subscribers, thank you so much for putting confidence in me. Thank you for, great comments and the thank yous. I appreciate you all. And you all, I wish you have a fantastic, I pray that you guys have a fantastic week next week. The market opens later on this evening. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take advantage of what you see in the market. Plan your trades, during the weekends, and then chart up your charts so that way you're prepared for next week's activity. Make sure you come to forexfactory.com and take a look to see what's going on within your currency that you're trading, and see if it's going to be any positive or negative news. And just come in here and just read these folders, get an understanding of what they mean, and take notes and so on and so forth. So that's fundamental analysis for you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Bye bye.